Hi, I'm Mark Dice, and welcome to a hopefully less disjointed episode of Let's Play Baroque. Oh, in the last episode, I complained about corporate greed. And that's the other thing. Like, it's worse to know that some university, I forget which one, may have discovered the cure for cancer. And it's ridiculous that companies won't spend money to put into it. Like, I just think it's ridiculous why a company wouldn't at least want to say, even if it was cheap, that, you know, oh, we're the company that proved that this cured cancer. Like, even if it's a PR stunt, at least you're doing something good for the world. And I know most of it is because there's no money in making cures, which is just sad. Ooh, vault box. Alright, please don't explode. Yes! And, you know, obviously there's no money in the cure, so why not just create treatments? And that's kind of sad. Like, especially when it comes to, like, medical stuff. Like, take, for example, someone I know worked on a project that was a freeware project. And the freeware project that he worked on was to make a medical app to help doctors with medications and such like that. And actually, the company that released it created other versions, and they donated it to hundreds of hospitals that couldn't afford it. And yeah, in some ways they are creating the infrastructure so later these hospitals can pay. But a lot of hospitals, after donation drives, gave money back. And that's the kind of thing that sometimes even the PR from that, and actually that the company that he was a part of ended up getting contracted for I really want him to die. Got contracted by another company to basically make another app that was similar for their company to use with its own inventory and stock, and they got paid quite a hefty sum. And again, it's one of those, some people are willing to pay, and sometimes getting your name out there might do more for your reputation. I mean, really? You're gonna do this to me, game? Alright. Why is this floor? Why is floor 1000 being such a pain? Yay, suicide. Apparently, he also wanted to kill me. Well, anyway, I don't know. I always think it's such a ridiculous thing. They won't, like, I understand human trials cost a lot of money and whatever, but, like, think about the fact that you, as a company, maybe if you cure cancer, might get a Nobel Prize. And then you can say you're a pharmaceutical company that has a Nobel Prize sitting there. You know? Like, sometimes the efforts of, like, you know, the whole are much more important than, you know, the bottom line. I mean, that's just the way I look at it, and I'm sure some CEO making ungodly amounts of money doesn't care. But good to know there's lots of discs on this floor. I don't know, I've just never understood it. Oh. Nice. I don't think Revolution Box is that great. Nice. Inject that shit. Ow. Whatever. Seafood can sometimes be helpful. But, I don't know. In the grand scale of things, I do think it's ridiculous that, you know, there are all these things out there, but because it won't make money, people won't do it. I don't know. Sometimes it's funny how, like, there's these whole, like, you know, the whole, like, oil cartel thing where basically you keep paying these people to keep using gasoline, and car companies that get together and decide to use gasoline, and it seems like alternative fuels are not a good idea because you can't extort or make money or claim that there's a shortage or, you know, any of these things. And I think it's so ridiculous. And, like, God, like, using food to fuel cars as in, like, ethanol and stuff. Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Let's have some more people starve so that way you can drive your stupid SUVs. Like, wow, you should get a Nobel Prize for stupidity. And no, it's just no brand. Why the hell would I want a no brand? And I don't know. I mean, it's the same thing too. Like, oh, that's. Let's throw out a vitality code because I already know what it is. Oh, 2. And okay, an electric sort. I'm definitely holding on to the identify bone again, or until I get up a few more levels. I might just keep an identify bone and throw it back, but I don't know. They're like extra frog spitting. It's annoying. The other thing that really pisses me off is on-disk download content. Like, ugh.
Our religious order was created not to receive God's divine protection, but rather to support God instead. If we had been stronger, we might have been able to avoid this matter. Just kidding. A sword like that won't work against guys like me.
But, yeah, like, I hate when companies basically like, well, I have better wings. Are like, well, we have all this extra content on the disc, but we'll just lock it out until, you know, we want to release a download content. And that's just stupid. Like, if it's on the disc, like, if I could develop a video game system, I would make sure that, like, you're allowed to have download content, but you have to download the content, not an unlock, not any of that bullshit. Because, like, it's ridiculous to be like, I'm gonna pay, you know, $5 for something I already paid for. Like, I don't know. I mean, you already have the data there. I mean, that's why I support people who do, like, crack unlocks. Because, like, for stuff like that, I think companies deserve people to crack them. And it's worse to say that it's, like, illegal to do so. It's like, oh, so you being a jackass is perfectly legal, but us getting what we were supposed to get in the first place is illegal. Like, that's stupid. Like, I just kind of wish someone would just go into their office and slap them with some common sense. Because, I don't know, I just think it's absolutely ridiculous. And not just for the basic reasons that it's just silly, but moreover on the lines that it's disarm. Oh, yeah, I'll keep that. I don't need you. And I think I'll purify that. Oh no. And calm wings. Hey, thanks. Seed rotten. Like, I don't know. Like, download content is one of those things I'm always, like, on the fence about. Because in some ways, like, I think it's good to have, like, you know, expansions and let things, you know, get better in the game or have more time to play, because some people just burn through games. But it's worse to have a game that's, you know, only maybe like 4 hours long, and then you have to keep getting download content. Like games like Dragon Age, where it's just, if you don't get the download content, it's just one kind of boring game. No more frog puking. Yeah, you can fire frog puke, but not the other one. And I don't know, it's like, oh, like, we talk about a character, but you can't get them unless you get the download content. Like, ugh, and what's worse is when you get download content that's not even really that big. That just, like, makes me angry. Like the Mass Effect 2 one. Ugh. Like, first of all, I just got it for free with it. But it's worse that I had to, like, I downloaded it off of Steam, and then I had to, like, go sign up for friggin' EA's stupid website to get the download content, and apparently it's only a mission. And the worst part is knowing that it came out at like $9 or something like that. Oh, nice. So it's like, oh, someone was willing to pay like $10 for basically like a little mission, and then that's it. Which of course I failed the mission because I didn't give a shit about it. But, and it wasn't that interesting. It has nothing to do with the overall story or anything like that. It's just, it's extra crap. Like, a lot of people made the idea that download content would be like, you know, obnoxious, where it's like, to get to level 2, please purchase this. Which, in some games, yes, it is like that, and that's pathetic. They should just not be able to make video games anymore. And if I had a system, I would make sure that no one released crap like that. I mean, I do like when games give you, like, a free or, like, a, you know, $5 opening. That's basically, like, the core of the game. And then you can buy other episodes from there. Like, a long time ago when I was working, I was playing Siren, Blood Curse, which I like all the Siren games. And it was nice because, frankly, I could only play like a little bit because I was working. So I would download one, play it that night, and then be like, ooh, I'm excited for the next one. And then I could, you know, feel free to kind of get them at my own pace. Which, that kind of stuff, I'm fine with. Like, I think, frankly, that's good download content. Oh, apparently it was a cursed sword. Let's see what its rating is now. 5. Not that great. So, I don't know. It's, I think, in many ways, just a balancing act of whether download content is good or, like, irritating. Also, like, the Dead Space add-ons were really stupid. Like, basically, it was like, for people who couldn't play the game, you'd get, like, ones with, like, extra attack, like, check out this flame decal, like, freaking plasma cutter. Check out how awesome it is. Like, yeah, I ended up getting a free PlayStation Network gift card, and I got, like, a whole bunch of the Dead Space download content, but most of it was so lame. Like, ugh, I think one of them I had to pay for in-game. Like, as in, like, I could have access to it. Like, oh, thank you for letting me pay $4 to have access to an armor that's not even as good as this other one, you know? Ugh, that kind of stuff is just like, are you stupid? Alright. Yeah, let's throw him the sword and the no brands. Let's go find the Cursebringer Angel. I know this floor has taken way too long. It's almost like 2 episodes on one damn floor. But, there he is. Come here. That might be helpful. Yeah, let's parasite. Oh. What did I have on there before? I don't know, but either way I have a dead parasite now. But alright, let's get rid of the fire. And the dead parasite. Stamina wings. Thank you. You're a dick. And the other thing that I think is crazy is I don't understand how mostly automated car factories, which have been I know materials of cars or whatever, and safety checks and all this stuff, but at this point it seems like they release cars every year just to keep the prices up. And yeah, that goes back to gas cartels and stuff like that. Like, I understand you want to make profit, you want to make more money, but at the same time, you're making a $30,000 car that's no better than the last year. Like, I mean, then it just becomes like price jacking. Ugh. Glad I can't be lethargic. There. No. So yeah, I don't know. It just always makes me upset that things are like that, and I think it's ridiculous that people, you know, go out of their way to make this kind of that. You know what, let's wait a minute. Come on. Just move a little faster. Like, even like consoles, they drop in price pretty damn quickly because they want people to have them. And you think, especially with a car, considering they brand their name all over it, you think, you know, it's like worse to know that you're not actually paying for, like the free advertising they get on, you know, you driving your car. Which always kind of bothered me. It's like you have Ford stamped over like 8 parts of the car, yet I have to pay for it and you get free advertising. Like, if I ever bought a car, I'd probably rip all the stupid names off of it and be like, no, you're not getting any advertising. At least not for free. And it's also ridiculous that, like, people always talk about how, you know, major companies are the ones that make jobs or whatever. And it's like, what? Like, that does not make any sense. Like, since when have companies ever, you know, received money from people and added more jobs? Like, even in times of wealth, companies will cut workers just to maximize profits. Like, oh, we're coming up to a fiscal year, fire 1,000 people. Like, and that's just the way of it. Like, and I don't understand under any circumstances paying them. If your company is having financial trouble, and sure, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs, then that means you suck at business, and you shouldn't be given a license, like, to you know, get free money for being a bad company. Like, and it's also funny because, like, when you look back at, like, the stupid deal our government made bailing out Ford and stuff, first thing they did is spend it, what, on creating jobs? No, they spent it on themselves. And what makes it worse is that they didn't really create any new jobs. And also, not to mention the fact that even if they did, the economy usually hits major big businesses like that last. Look at Walmart. It's doing better than it ever has because of the bad economy. And sure, you could say that cars are luxury items, but in America, they're pretty much necessities because we build our cities like idiots. But I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous. Like, oh, we can't, you know, we're losing a little bit of money, and, you know, we create jobs, so we need a couple $1 million that we won't pay back, and we won't create jobs with it, but we'll make sure that people think we did. Yeah, I might as well use that, and yes. Ooh. Let's sort. Let's eat the seed. So, I don't know. I just think after a while it just becomes like kind of like whining from them. Like, if your company can't do what it's supposed to do, then why should anybody pay you to do bad business? And they, like, it's worse when they say, like, made in America, sort of. Like, most of the parts and pieces are manufactured in other countries. Like, go look it up. It's all there. I don't know. And also you think that, like, car dealerships will be more focused on internet, so that way you don't have to have lots or whatever. You can have, like, one car lot per state, or, you know, per reasonable region that has all sorts of models of cars. I mean, in many ways, we're still thinking like we're in the 1950s, at least Ford does, and lots of American car dealers, where it's like, okay, no, let's just wait here, because I know he'll run right into those ice spikes. Why you wouldn't just open a few? Because, like, the worst part is knowing that a lot of those car lots, a lot of those cars just sit out and rust. That's all they do. And you've just wasted, you know, like, precious materials on a car that sits there and rusts itself to death on some lot and isn't sold for the money that it is. And that's just stupid. Like, it astounds me, the stupidity of it. Like, okay. I guess something was stepping on an explosion here. Like, I just don't get it. It's like, sometimes there needs to be some evolution of process, and companies that don't do that, you can see how fast they go away. Like, freaking Yahoo was able to at least, like, salvage itself somewhat. And AOL Time Warner, please, what do they do now? Nobody gives a crap about them anymore. Damn, the Corial chambers are empty. I should have just not purified them when I didn't have the space to do it, but whatever. I think after I kill God, they come back. But anyway. Like, we always talk about, like, oh, capitalism and how we can you know, the way of business is cruel and harsh. Like, Circuit City closes, hundreds of thousands of people lose their job. We won't bail them out. And, you know, someone like me loses their job, and then, yeah, sure, a lot of it was because Circuit City couldn't compete with other companies, and that's fine. But a lot of people lost their jobs, and people turned a blind eye to that and gave it to a company that really doesn't hire as many people, at least domestically, and then gives them money to just go spend on whatever they want. Like, it's that Jackie Chan face. Like, what? Like, that's all I think of. I was also very hesitant at first when they started raising video game prices, because, like, one of the best things that ever happened to video games was Sony talking about price points. How, unlike Nintendo, they decided to do something that seemed crazy, which was, you know, set prices, so that way you wouldn't be paying, like, you know, $80 or $90 for a game. And I was worried when, you know, they said they were going to put the prices of video games up by $10 or whatever because of so-called development costs, which is a load of shit. They set, like, a standard to say, like, this is what you've got to release your game at. And that worked for a very long time. And it always worries me with the setting up that, you know, the next generation consoles will do the same thing and raise it another $10. And then you provide less content, so that way your margin is better. So that way it's like, oh, you fucker. What changed? I don't know. I didn't read that. That was too much popping up at once. But whenever he... see, I don't know what box that is. I think it's a double edge. Pretty sure it's a double edge. Either way, let's eat some sweat bones, because I need to get stuff out of my inventory anyway. Although I'll probably regret it later. Life sword, man. I don't know, and then inevitably you get worse content. I think that when people know their price point and want to work hard to find a way to get around the handicap of that, because, like, if you make a game and you spend a lot of money and you try to make a high price point, people are just going to wait for it to drop and they'd be paying effectively the same. Like, I find that there's more of a hesitation to buy a higher priced item than there is to buy, you know, an item that seems fairly high priced. Like, I would have people come into GameStop and buy, like, 2 games at $50 each, drop, like, $100 on video games, but nowadays you're dropping almost $100 on a video game. I mean, it was the same thing with Super Nintendo. You'd be dropping almost $100 on a video game. And that's just stupid. Whoever thought of that is some kind of stupid. Like, I don't know, it's just... It's always bothered me that people don't understand, like, really the basics of human nature. And it's worse when you have, like, you know, major companies who've been in business for, what, like 100 years, that just can't adapt to new things, and they just get shut down because, oh, we can get rid of one of these double edges. Do I have any more bones? Oh, I have that, but that's not very helpful. And you're not rotten? Good. I don't know. I can whine at length about this kind of stuff, because really that's all I'm doing is whining about it, because it'll inevitably never change. Like, the other thing I can't understand is why on Earth do we launch shuttles straight up? Who ever thought that was, like, you have to be, that was like, honestly, that was like, we want to make this look like a big penis flying off into space. Like, there was no feasible reason why they would think that an upright ship would be the best trajectory to take something into outer space when they already were flying jet planes straight up. Like, as in, the jet planes were basically making a coiled circle until they reached the outer atmosphere. In fact, I think it was a MiG jet was one of the first. The Russian MiG jet was one of the first to actually technically break the atmosphere. So, oh, 3/4. And then for some reason we decided to be stupid and fly ours straight up, which I'll never understand. Like, first of all, you're fighting more gravity and expending an absurd amount of fuel on, you know, basically trying to break that burden of how much extra gravity and how much more air resistance you have by launching something straight up. Like, I would make a joke how rocket science isn't really rocket science, but it's just silly that they thought that that was like a smart way to do it. Like, I would love to go back to that development team and just reach across the table and slap them in the face. Be like, you already have planes that can almost reach the atmosphere. You know, launch a rocket off of that. Or have a plane that can survive in space. Like, why not just have the shuttle, which can fly down normally like a regular plane and land? Why on Earth doesn't it just fly up like a normal plane? Riddle me this, Batman.
My sin is recorded in this consciousness orb, but I do not have the courage to confess it. I am a coward. No, you should hold on to this.
I don't think I have anything. Where the hell does my angelic rifle keep going? Did I not pick one up? I don't have any meat on me, so let's just use the spoiled near some monsters. I don't really need any more cultivating fluid, it's not really all that helpful. Oh, my friend. Let's throw strength into it. I thought I was gonna miss and throw it in a little pit next to it. Because I've accidentally done that, and that shit sucks. Ooh. Get the hell out of here, junk sword. Roast on the fire forever. I don't know. That's just like... It's just moronic to me. Like, I never understood why... Like, even when I was a kid, I was like, why on earth do they fly that straight up into the air and waste all of that fuel when you could have a jet that could use half as much fuel and probably get them up further? Like, if we can refuel planes in the air, why the hell can't we fly a plane with another plane on top of it and then have the other plane launch from the other one so it saves fuel? Like, it's not... Weight isn't the issue. Trust me, weight is not the issue. Like, the guy from Virgin Airlines was the first person to do that. And that's sad that it took that long, even though we knew... God damn it, you sons of bitch. Sons of bitch. Yeah, that's real smart. God damn it, I hate these things. I wish I had a gun. Wish you could actually get guns in this damn game. Good. Give me my damn double edge back. Yeah, you know what? Let's just push that on myself. I don't think the explosion hurts me. If it does, I can hopefully find an unbrand before I kill myself. But it's just amazing how, like, people just didn't use their damn heads. It was always common sense to me. I didn't understand why nobody understood it, but it's like we always seem to like to take the most expensive, ridiculous route to get anything done. The environment's a mess. Throw money at it, and Al Gore. When our environment isn't all that much of a mess, but where the hell is it? It says it. Oh, I guess it's up. Well, sounds like more monsters appeared. Oh no, maybe that's the portal saying hello. There we go. Alright, let's save. Alright, and that's all for this episode of Let's Play Baroque with me, Mark Dice. See you later.